Yo, welcome back to Feel Free, the only podcast that'll tell you to chase your dreams and also call you out on all your freaking bullshit. Myself included. If you haven't already, give us a like, follow, and subscribe on all your favorite social media and listening platforms. Really appreciate the support from everybody. It's been a while since I put out an episode. I had a couple people asking me when it was coming out, and well, it's coming out now. So it's actually been like 4 weeks since I put out an episode. Just got really busy between, working two jobs and then still trying to publish the book. Sometimes life just gets really busy. I know everybody out there who's listening obviously understands that, and trying to figure out the publishing thing was definitely difficult. The title of this podcast is just called Parables, so I'm going to be talking about the book a little bit, what I was going through the last month, giving everybody updates, cool things to keep in mind, and some other things that I've just been thinking about. So first off, just really appreciative for everybody that purchased the book. I'm super blessed, honestly, between family and friends, and hell, I even had a couple people hit me up on social media that I don't even know that are going to purchase the book, and that made me really excited. I got people asking me to sign their copies and stuff, so that makes me pretty excited. So it was a pain, I'll tell you. I'm glad that all the work is finally over. It's crazy holding a copy of it, just looking down, it's got my name on it. It's like a full ass book, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm holding one right now. It's crazy having accomplished something that you put a lot of your time, effort, your heart, and your soul into, and it's finally real, I couldn't be more blessed, honestly. Wouldn't have been able to do it if I didn't have all the friends and family and support group around me that helped me get sober, also like my mentor and all that other good stuff. Super indebted to everybody that's been a part of this. So I just want to say thank you to everybody believing in me and also purchasing the book. That was awesome. Like I was saying, though, very stressful having to do most of this by myself, besides obviously hiring all the different editors and designers, and I had somebody working on social media for me as well. It's been a hell of a couple months, honestly. Finally got out of it, though, and everybody's able to order an ebook or a paperback copy, so that's badass, honestly. If you could, I'd really appreciate. I already asked a lot of my friends and family for purchasing the book, even though they did it, because they wanted to read it. If you can, give me a review wherever you bought it, even if you don't want to type one out, if you want to just give me a couple stars here or there. Honestly, if you want to let me know what you think about it, please actually leave me a review or DM me, hit me up, honestly, if you want to talk about it. I understand some of my writing gets a little philosophical. This is a book of philosophy, honestly. Short parables detailing recovery, addiction, chasing your dreams, mental health, and all that other good stuff. So it does get a little difficult to read, I understand. I'm thinking of doing a Q&A section on the Feel Free podcast where some questions that might arise, honestly, I might even do a social media post and see what's going through people's heads when they're reading it, On the website, I would like the website I will be designing eventually. Trying 2023, the beginning of it. Maybe doing a Q&A or a forum there so people can talk about the book. I don't want people to be left in the dark about it. It's not just some cut and dry black and white book. I put a lot of time and effort into making my thoughts through addiction and recovery relatable. So I understand that it could be difficult at times, a little overwhelming as well. I mean, even for me, going back and reading through it, I've read through it a couple times now, highlighting different phrases and thinking about, obviously, the things I wrote. I honestly wrote the book for everybody. I also wrote it for me, so maybe it's something that I can come back to stay strong during my own recovery. So like I said, I'm looking forward to doing a Q&A. If you got any questions, please DM my social media pages until, of course, the website gets up and running. I've got a lot of good feedback back from a couple people saying they're enjoying the book so far. Kind of wanted to talk about that because I got a couple calls from some buddies over the last couple weeks that were struggling with some bad habits, and they were looking for guidance on the matter. And you know, it doesn't make me happy that they're going through something like that. It makes me happy that they're coming to me for advice and guidance on getting rid of bad habits and instilling good habits, because it's almost like, I've put in the work to like understand this conundrum of addiction, the human condition. So it was nice getting that call from them and also talking through it with them. And one of them specifically said that my book couldn't have come at a better time. And honestly, that made me so happy and excited, because I really did write the book. So anybody who's out there struggling with not even just like a heavy drug addiction, but any addiction in general, or any bad habit, or any bad mental state, that they can like pick the book up. You don't even need to like the whole damn thing. Even if you read like half a page in there and it helped you get through something, like that's all. It's the whole reason why I wrote it, So that made me really excited to hear that from a very close friend of mine. And also, I got a call from somebody who's going through some drinking problems, and as I'm like talking him through, because he originally called me asking how to stay sober, and I was like, well, shit, this is going to be a pretty long conversation, but it was an hour phone call. And as I'm like talking to him about some tips and tricks and like how I've done it and all this stuff, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, damn, I'm sitting here coming out with a book about chasing your dreams and getting sober. And I'm talking to my one buddy about how to stay sober. And then I'm over here still like smoking cigars for the most part. For the last 2 months. And I'm like, man, internally, I'm like, man, this is some bullshit. Like, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I mean, like, everybody's got like their thing, some people like sweets and stuff. And I was really big on the ice cream for a while. I'm not like getting down about the smoking the cigars thing. It was how long I was doing it and how many a day, So I realized that I needed to stop, and he actually helped me with that. He gave me a little bit of a boost that I needed, a little self-reflection. So at this point, I got 15 days without nicotine again. It's like I kind of picked up one of my worst habits and had to get sober from it again, and I don't like getting down on myself anymore. I work really hard, and one of my biggest flaws is that I always get down on myself no matter how hard I work. And this time I'm forgiving myself because I know there's a reason behind it. I'm not trying to segue into a different topic, but I am going to be working on my second book in the year of 2023 called The Hierarchy of Habits, which is a more traditional step-by-step self-help book. And I know internally I was like, while I'm like smoking these cigars, I'm like, this is going to be good. So when we actually do quit, we're going to have this fresh feeling of quitting something, right? In order for me to like spur my work ethic and creativity towards finishing the book, So I'm not looking back on any regrets or anything. I'm very relaxed right now, which is nice. I was getting down about the smoking the cigars thing. I didn't do a lot of podcasts the last 2 months. I was really stressed about publishing the book. Work was really stressful. Life was really stressful, and I'm not, unstoppable. I'm human too, so my defenses are not impenetrable as many times as I've probably written that in some of my raps, Sometimes you just got to take a step back and just fucking relax, man. I've been all go since I got sober, and very relentless with my work ethic, my workout program, being very driven towards my goals, very tenacious. And I had this opportunity to, celebrate a little bit, take a step back, smoke some cigars. I stopped really getting down on myself for not working all the time. And honestly, in the last 2 months, I can say that I've never felt more relaxed in my life than I am right now. It did come at the expense, like, okay, when I was smoking the cigars, I'm not working out as much, right? I'm not worried about eating too much, or eating good, I should say. And I'm playing a little video games, right? It was nice to not have my ambition completely rule every waking minute, So it helped me take a step back and realize, I gotta have some fun, some relaxation, and all that good stuff. And I think I succeeded in that. And the last 2 weeks of not having the nicotine, now I'm back at it, working out a lot, worried about my diet, writing a lot again, worried about the podcast, trying to get the books out to people, starting to really get centered again. And it took me a while to kind of like muster up the courage to like come on this podcast and like not even just talk about the book, but like talk about what I've been going through, right? I was going to do an entire episode on the idea of cognitive dissonance, which in psychological terms, actually, I'm going to just look this up. Cognitive dissonance. The state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. So I'd like to think about it as having conflicting values on something. Like, say something is false, but out of just sheer comfort, you believe what you've always believed just because you can't handle, like, being wrong, That's kind of how I viewed it. And for a while, I didn't really want to believe that I was having a problem like quitting the cigars. So I was just like lying to myself. Like I was saying, I was still like enjoying it for the most part. And I've had instances like this happen before in my life. Obviously, get addicted to a plethora of different like substances without having an issue with lying to yourself, right? So having to overcome that again, I'm very grateful for that. As much as it sucked. Obviously, I'm literally kind of like foreshadowing, like, the next book is going to be coming out, right? And I'm very excited for that. Now I gotta get back to the first book I read. So, I appreciate all the support from everyone. I'll keep saying that. Honestly, I'm very excited to be holding copies of my book, hearing from people that they're enjoying it, that they want me to sign their copies. It's a very humbling experience, honestly, to finally be at this position where I can talk like this. I actually went and visited one of my old teachers from high school who's been a really big impact in my life. He was my baseball coach as well, and he taught my favorite subject in high school, which is chemistry. If the die were cast in a different way, I'd definitely be a chemist. I'll tell you all that. Science is definitely my favorite subject of all time. Unfortunately, I didn't believe that I would be able to help people and change the world as much as I believed with it. For some odd reason, where we're at right now, religion actually holds a lot more importance. Religion and politics hold a lot more importance in the world than science, which is very concerning to me. So I had to flip my own script and kind of figure out a way in order to communicate with people instead of learning equations and stuff. So he was a really big help in having me become excited about the world of science, and also like my baseball coach, which I love playing baseball growing up. So I went and saw him at his at the new school he teaches at, and I gave him a copy of the book, and I just caught up with him, He was really proud of me. So it's just nice having these experiences. It's nice having these experiences outside of like doing all the grunt work of like working a normal career 9 to 5 and then literally driving myself into the ground to publish a book and do a podcast, like these instances where I get to talk to people about their habits, talk to people about what I'm doing, talk to people about what they're doing, like these instances where I get to actually communicate with people out in reality. It really, it actually kind of makes everything worth it, all the hard work. So I've been kind of debating on whether I'm going to try doing this whole like life coach thing. I don't even know where to fucking start with all that shit. I'm gonna take that one step at a time. It was the same thing with the motivational speaking. It's like, all right, you're trying to be an author, podcast host, motivational speaker, life coach. It's like, fucking calm down, you know. I mean, it's nice to have all these ideas, but until like I'm not working a 9 to 5, like I have to take this one step at a time, you know, or I'm going to overload myself yet again. I'd like to think that this last time I learned from my mistakes. So, you know, we're going to take it one step at a time. I hired Lisa as my publicist, so that's going to be in the works in 2023. Hopefully she's going to help me out trying to get some book signings, maybe in some libraries, bookstores. I'm trying to contact some universities and professors I used to have, classes with, see if they can review the book or maybe get it into like the psychology and philosophy department. There's a couple sober bars that people have told me about that I should head to. Yeah, I had no idea they existed. They're sober bars, which is fucking crazy. No alcohol. So, and I'm also thinking of going to some NA meetings again, maybe just start networking there. You know, I'm trying to get out in the world and actually communicate with people instead of just, like I said, you work a 9 to 5. I come home and work out and work on my dreams. It's really hard to like be in contact with the world when I despise social media and my phone, which I understand is a big part of getting out to the world. But what really drives me is having these interactions with people out in reality. That's what really makes me excited. So I have to take some of that energy in my free time and actually get out there. So I'm excited to say that she's going to help me with that. So, you know, I'm very excited about that. Let's see. We covered, kind of not. You know, there's going to be a website for everything that's going to be coming out 2023. I just got to get on that, you know. Talked about the publicist, some of the other things that I'm going to be doing for the book. I put out a TikTok video a couple days ago, and I got a lot of really good feedback from that. Actually, at the beginning of the podcast, I said that there was some people I didn't know that purchased the book. Somebody commented on my TikTok video and said that they're very excited to purchase my book and read it, and it made I was like, fuck yeah, that's dope, you know. Maybe if I do like one TikTok video a day, maybe that'll fucking sell a book a day or some shit like that, you know. So I got to stay consistent with that, even though I completely loathe taking videos of myself. I told my sister, because she was looking at the video, and I'm like, I don't know what it is. I don't want to look at myself on the video. Like, I'll take a video of myself and I won't like rewatch it. It makes me cringe, you know. I just like don't want to see it. So I'm just going to have to get better at watching that, you know, or just like get better at just like staying consistent with posting them, you know, because, you know, I guess people really like Reels and TikToks now. So I was very excited to talk to my buddies about the struggles they're going through. I just wanted to point out too, if you're going through some shit, you can always DM me if you're looking for some guidance on maybe getting rid of some bad habits, instilling some good habits, or maybe just like, I don't know, figuring out what you actually want to do with life, you know, because I'll tell you, it took me like fucking, it's still, you know, it's always a process. I could say like for a decade, I'm still learning, you know. I have a way better grasp on who I am right now than when I started 10 years ago, you know, and it's not possible all by yourself, you know. I always write in my journal that there really is no eureka moment. There is not like a singular moment where a light bulb flicks on above your head and you're like, I know who I am and I know what I want to do, right? Like I don't believe in that, because moments are so fleeting, you know, in our existence, and it's always just this constant struggle of like waking up and like tackling the day, and like there are things that we vibe with, there are things that we really want to do, there's things that we really don't like to do. But I feel like the days and the moments where we continuously get better at listening to ourselves, and doing the things that we actually want to do, then we get closer to being more authentic and finding out what we truly want to do. And I believe that's only possible with the help of others, because honestly, what are we if we're not, together with humans here on Earth, right? And the people we love. So if you do need some guidance, and if you just want to chat and, DM me, I'm happy to help you out. Maybe, I don't know, shoot the shit. Like I said, you're not going to figure it out by yourself. I didn't figure it out by myself, so I'm happy to help. If you have any ideas, if you want me to talk about something specific, I've said this in other episodes, just also shoot me a DM or like comment on a post like, hey, can you talk about this subject a little bit in one of the episodes? And I'll be happy to do some research and just tell you what I think about it. This is actually the 25th episode. It should have been more of a milestone. I didn't really talk about, it being much of a milestone, but yeah, I think I'm gonna change it up a little bit for the next 25 episodes. I'm gonna try and keep it a little more exciting for you guys. Bring out some new guests, talk about some different things. Maybe some current events. I said current events, maybe. All right, because I would prefer to live under a rock, away from the government and all that other bullshit. But I understand that I'm going to have to start talking about some other things that actually concern, society, mankind, the world. So one thing that is very interesting to me that, I'm not really going to talk too much about, it did increase my well-being. It's like small instances that I do see on like scrolling my phone that do like give me hope for mankind. A couple days ago, the United States was able to not perfect, but they were able to succeed in their application of nuclear fission. So just to simplify this, for the first time, we were able to produce more energy from a system than the energy that we put in, right? And that's such a huge leap for mankind. And if you're here for the wellness and the well-being, like, that's awesome. If you don't understand science and chemistry too much, I'm just going to explain this. Like, we can solve a lot of the energy crisis with that, just that right there, taking the energy that exists between the molecules in reality and harnessing it somehow. So once this is actually on a scale of like powering countries and spacecrafts and all this other stuff, like it's very hopeful, right? Like, very hopeful. We're not even going to get into like, fossil fuels and the damage to the earth and whatever. Like, we'll just stay positive. Nuclear fission was a success, and we're going to wait and hear some news on that. I guess I wanted to, I've talked a little bit about everything right now, give you guys like a lot of good updates on my life, the book and stuff. One thing to be excited for is I have a buddy who's coming on this coming week for the podcast. His name is Logan Muncie. Muncie is his rapper name. He's a rapper from the Detroit area in Michigan. He has been 4 years clean and sober. He's a huge, huge inspiration to everybody that is around him. Honestly, like he's a really big inspiration to me too. So I'm going to have him on. He's going to talk about sobriety, creativity, chasing his dreams, and all that other good stuff. So it's an episode you definitely don't want to miss. I'm very excited to have him on. I told myself in 2023 that I'm going to start working on the second book, The Hierarchy of Habits. I didn't really want to like overload myself even further in this last couple months. I am very excited for that one because it will be a little more commercially available than the book I just put out. It's not going to be as philosophical. It's going to be very cut and dry. This is what I think you should do in order to, change the habits in your life. And I'd like to sell the books together. I want them to like supplement each other. Like if you have both of these books, then you'll be able to tackle a lot of the problems that I think mankind in the 21st century is facing. So I'm very excited to start working on that the next year. And God, I'm just very excited to be holding one of these fucking books. Isn't that fucking crazy? That's a whole ass book, and it's got my freaking name on it. Damn, man. Now that I did it once, I'm like, shit, I could totally do this again. Just produce another book, you know? So, God, I couldn't be more like, happy about that. Very proud of myself. I'm usually very hard on myself, Nothing's ever good enough for me. I think I should always be working harder. And I think that comes from the addiction, because I feel like I was dicking around for so many years, and like now I try and overwork myself when I'm sober. I'm like, I got to make up for lost time, right? But I'm slowly learning to like forgive myself for that. It's not necessary. Like, we're all going at our own pace towards our own goals, just got to stay consistent, authentic, tenacious, and forgiving on the matter, and you're going to get to where you want to go. I promise that. So I'm trying not to be so hard on myself. I think I've done a fairly good job. And I hope that, God, I hope people just really, really enjoy it, Like I said, if you got any questions, hit me up. I'd really appreciate to talk about the book with other people. If you're going through some shit, just let me know. I don't really know what else to talk about today. It's really just me. These solo podcasts are definitely more difficult than I make them out to be. I honestly sit there and I'm like, yeah, I fucking got this. I'll crush it and just do a 45-minute podcast by myself. No, it's very fucking difficult. So I really appreciate everybody coming out for this John Cerone update on Parables. If you haven't gotten your copy yet, I got a link in all the bios on all my social media. That'll take you to a page where you can purchase it. I believe the paperback is on Barnes & Noble now, as well as on Amazon. The ebook is available on all your favorite ebook distributors. So definitely cop a copy if you haven't gotten one. Leave a review and stay tuned for more feel-free episodes. I hope you all have a really good start to your week. I'm peacing out of here. Deuces.